Hello students, in this session we will discuss second generation computers. The period of the second generation computers were 1955 to 1964. Transistors were invented in those days. In the year 1947, transistors were invented by William Shockley and Walter Bertrand. These two were the people who invented transistors in Bell Laboratories. Coming to characteristics of these second generation computers, compared to the first generation computers, they were much easier to handle. Why? Because in first generation computers, vacuum tubes were used, and vacuum tube was nothing but it used to have a filament. This filament used to consume more electricity. As a result, it used to heat up and it used to burn, and frequent hardware failures were there. But coming to transistors, transistors were made of germanium semiconductor material rather than glass, which used to be in vacuum tubes. So that is the reason why these transistors did not have frequent failures. So it was much easier to handle the second generation computers. Next is highly reliable compared to tubes. Highly reliable because there were no frequent failures in this second generation computers. It was easy to handle. There were no failures. That is the reason why it was highly reliable. They were faster than the first generation computers. Processing was fast. Storage capacity was more comparatively. So it was faster. Then they were much smaller. As discussed earlier, some thousands of components used to be assembled there and all. So in this case, transistors were used and they were much smaller compared to the previous first generation computers. So the size gradually decreased in second generation computer. Then they were much less expensive compared to the first generation computer, because in producing the first generation computers, many components have to be assembled, which was very much commercial, which was very much costly. Whereas in this case, transistors were less expensive. So the production of the second generation computers was also less expensive. Then it emitted or it dispatched less heat compared to the vacuum tubes. As discussed earlier, vacuum tubes used to consume more power. It used to emit more heat, or it used to produce more heat. As a result, frequent failures were there. But in this case, it dispatched less heat as compared to vacuum tubes. Then the examples of these second generation computers can be the IBM 1620, IBM 7094 or UNIVAC. These are the examples of second generation computers. Thank you for watching.